In House Morcego, one of the oldest vampire houses in the New World, we find Izzy having an orgy in commemoration of her father's funeral. Now, Corrie comes to collect Izzy because she wants Izzy to get dressed and sober up as the celebration of her father's funeral is about to commence. Now, back in the Vampire Tabernacle of New Spain, Houston, Texas, Izzy and Corrie enjoy the festivities. Now, considering the fact that their father's dead, there's also many suitors at this celebration because they want to join houses. But Corrie and Izzy don't seem interested in none of that. Now, Corrie and Izzy eventually get tired of the festivities, so they retire to their quarters so they can fuck and finger bang each other. But back on Toro Grande Ranch in Laredo, Texas, we find Nandi, the Minotaur, as he's fucking a cow. Now, as Nandi is fucking the shit out this cow, some of the other satyrs come as they seem to have intel on the two vampire ladies. After busting a nut in a cow, Nandi tells his boy to get ready as they're going to ambush the two vampire ladies. Back in San Antonio, Texas, we see Izzy from House Volmaanwere walking down the street, but unbeknownst to Izzy, she's being watched by some of the satyrs. Now, at the same time that's going on, Corrie from House Volmaanwere is also being stalked by one of the satyrs. The satyrs attempt to ambush Corrie as well as Izzy, but the satyrs immediately get more than they bargained for as the two vampire ladies make short work of both of the beasts. Corrie proceeds to violently mutilate the goat satyr, while Izzy proceeds to punch the horse satyr's jaw clean off. The two ladies would go on to mail those body parts to Nandi in an act of defiance. Back in Dallas, Texas, at the capital city of the vampires of New Spain, Izzy and Corrie would go on to have another party. Now, considering the fact that their father's dead, more suitors would show up, including one member of the House of the Iron Coffin. My boy gets denied, but he leaves the two ladies with a parting gift that the two ladies really don't want. He leaves the ladies with the bones of Azrael Yahweh, Archangel of Death. Now, this is bad because eventually Hellina will come to claim those bones, but for now, there's nothing the ladies can do about it, so they just tell this guy to fuck right off. The vampire from the House of the Iron Coffin leaves the festivities to go get a bite to eat. But as he's out eating, he's confronted by someone he didn't expect. He's confronted by one of the satyrs. Now, the vampire from the House of the Iron Coffin is pissed, and he goes full vampire in an attempt to take this motherfucker down. But this ox satyr proves to be way too much for him, as Mr. Ox Dude goes on to violently mutilate the vampire from the House of the Iron Coffin. Elsewhere, Hellina has just arrived on Earth. Corrie from House Volmaanwere and Izzy from House Morcego decide to join houses, and in commemoration, they decide to have a bridal shower orgy. Now, after the orgy, Corrie and Izzy go to tie the knot, but during the ceremony, they're interrupted by none other than the ox satyr that killed the vampire from the House of the Iron Coffin. This satyr goes on to let the ladies know that the satyrs they killed earlier were all his friends, and then he proceeds to try and take a battle axe to Corrie and Izzy's face. Now, this dude is pretty impervious to their claws, so Corrie takes the liberty of ripping off one of this dude's horns. Corrie proceeds to violently impale the satyr with his own horns, but this doesn't stop the satyr. Now, the ox satyr does manage to knock Corrie out, but right before he can finish Corrie off, he gets backdoored by Izzy. Izzy proceeds to use his own weapon to violently mutilate him. Izzy proceeds to drink his blood and feed some of his blood to Corrie in order to resuscitate her. But as this is going on, they get third-partied by none other than Hellina. Now, Hellina threatens to kill both of the vampire ladies, but Izzy begs for mercy, as she states vampires were also created by God. Helena's not buying any of that bullshit, and she grabs Corrie by the hair because she wants to behead her. But the satyr that Helena's with does confirm that vampires are indeed God's children. So Hellina does end up taking mercy on the ladies and letting them drink from her angelic blood. Now, back in Dallas, Texas, Nandi thinks he has won and he's executing the last of his enemies. But what Nandi wasn't expecting was Corrie and Izzy to third party his little festivity. Corrie and Izzy proceed to engage the satyrs, going blow for blow and violently mutilating them. Even when one of the satyrs seemingly gets the upper hand and manages to impale Corrie, Corrie tears the satyr's head off. After that, Izzy and Corrie proceed to engage Nandi, and they proceed to tear his dick off. After tearing his dick off, they tear both of his arms off and leave him violently mutilated as they go off to celebrate the joining of their two houses. This is the Ravening.